Okay, welcome everybody to the Azure and AI Show. We have lots of guests with us this evening, and we have Sina Khan in Bahrain. We have Evelyn in Lagos, Nigeria. We have Bill from the US, and we have Dan Ray from the US. We have Solomon Jeremiah in the UK, and Stephen in the UK as well. So
Yeah.
we have three speakers this evening. We have Sina Khan, and we have Evelyn and Stephen. So, Sina, if you want to share your screen, and
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks, Frank.
okay, and myself, Frank Falvey in Ireland. Forgot about myself.
Is my screen visible?
Just coming up there now, Sina. 2 seconds. Yeah, it should be coming on screen there now. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome all to another session of Power Platform. So today I'm going to discuss about Power Automate. How can we get data from weather forecast or uh, current weather by using MSN. So here, MSN apps. So here I'm going to create a flow by using Power Apps platform. So here I am already logged in, and here my environment, and this is my environment, and here on the left side you can see the menus. So I'm going to select flows. So it is already selected, and the already built-in flows available here, the cloud flows. So you can see here the desktop flows and the cloud flows. So desktop flows I didn't create any, so only cloud flows are available. Now I'm going to create a new flow for this weather forecasting. So for that, just click on the top menu, new flow, and here instant cloud flow. I'm going to select this. Here I'm going to provide a name, weather forecast flow, and then it is. I'm not going to attach this flow with any of the apps, so it is. It has to be manually triggered. So I'm going to take this option, manually trigger a flow. So selected that one and just create. So here, the first step of this flow is created, and the name of the flow is weather forecast flow, and this is the environment where we can add one number of steps for this workflow. So here I'm going to add one more step, which has to be search. So this is choose an operation. So here in this, I'm going to select search about MSN. It'll take a bit time to display the details over here. Type was marked. Okay, so here it is listed. related to the weather, MSN weather. So I'm going to take this get current weather. Just select that. So you will get option related to get current weather, and here you have to provide the location and the unit. So here location, I'm going to take the dynamic content from here. By clicking on the location, you will get a side window which shows the dynamic content, and from here you can select the country or region. So I have selected the country or region and then the imperial. Now I'm going to save this. So it's saved. Now here on the top bar you can see there are multiple options. So here undo, redo, comments, save, flow checker, then test. So here I'm going to test it by clicking on the test. So you will get two options to test this flow, and here manually I'm going to test it. So click on manually and test. MSN weather, run flow. So it's done. Now it is executing. You can see the result in the flow itself. So here I'm going to click over here. So you can see here the input already taken my location, it is Bahrain, and the outputs you can see pressure conditions, humidity, temperature, and here the last updated the location, and it is in Fahrenheit. And show more if you go, so it will, you can take these details in your emails. Okay, so in any of the apps, if you want to display, you can display that. So through this Power Automate, and there are several options you can see, like, okay, if I want to edit the same flow by adding number of steps, so you can edit it by clicking over here and then click on the new step here. So if I'm going to search again about MSN, so here it is. Okay, so get forecast for today, get the forecast for tomorrow. So there are multiple options for the weather forecast and weather. So if I'm getting get the forecast for tomorrow and the location the same, wait, and then save, test it again, run flow, done. So it's done. Here, this is the second one we have done, and this is the last, the forecast for tomorrow. So here the date 12th 11 2023, and there is a rain chance for 49 percentage, maximum wind speed, humidity low, temperature high, low, spin low, and the temperature in Fahrenheit, and you can see. Okay, so this is all about from me. Any doubts or anything you want to discuss? So with this we can display this results in any particular apps, or you can send it like on everyday emails. Okay, or in your websites you can incorporate.
So the weather could either be the start of the flow, or you could use something else as
Nothing
maybe
here. Amazon app we were used. Yeah, it's already a built-in. So
very
we
cool.
are just taking the data from that app. It's very simple. It is.
Yeah, great
So
presentation.
Definitely.
yeah, um, very very good, straightforward, and no complicated coding or anything like that. It's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks, Ina.
yeah. That
Anybody
is
else?
Power Platform, no code platform. Yeah.
Okay. So Evelyn, do you want to share your screen?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's in StreamYard there. It'll take a small bit to get used to, but if you're stuck, let us know.
Yeah.
So you click on the present button down in the bottom. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I can see it there now. 2 seconds. There we go. Should come up on the screen
okay.
shortly. There you go. We can see your screen now.
Okay. Okay, thank you for having me, and I'll just jump right into the presentation. So today I'm going to teach you how to create a virtual machine and how to create a virtual network. But first things first, how to create a resource. And a resource group helps keep our work organized, and helps us keep resources that are related to each other, helps us keep them together. So you don't want to create different VMs in different resource groups, especially if you want to keep tabs on them easily and all that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use my subscription, and I'm going to name this presentation RG, right? I'm going to leave my region at East US. So I'm just going to go ahead and review and create. Yes, I'm going to create it now. Okay, so my resource up, and yeah, just going to wait for it to come up. Okay, so it's up. So now I'm going to go ahead and create my VNet, and I'll be creating the VNet in that same resource group, just so I can have everything together and organized. So I'm going to use the same subscription, and I'm going to choose the resource group I just created. So yeah, this one. And I'm going to name this VNet, so let's just say presentation VNet, sorry. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to also leave this region here. And I'm going to leave the security settings at default. So now for my IP, I'm going to be using a private IP that's class C. So I will do 19. Okay, so I already have the ones I did before. Okay, so I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to be doing it at /24, so we can have 256 addresses. So I'm going to go ahead and create a subnet now. Yeah, so I'm going to name this presentation subnet. Okay, I'm going to make this /26, because if I leave that at 24, it means I'm giving just this one subnet all my IPs. And then the whole essence of having subnets is to split the IPs into like subcategories. So I'm moving this to /26. So it has just 64 IPs. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. And so let me delete this default one. You can actually create as many subnets as you want. So I'm going to go ahead and create one more before I move on. Yes. So I'm going to call this one subnet presentation subnet 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And my starting, I'm going to start in. So this is going to start from 64 because I already have another running. Yeah, so this is fine. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Right, so I'm going to review and create at this point. Actually, what's just going to go. So I'm waiting for it to come up now. It's validating. Okay, so I'm going to create this now. Okay, it just takes a couple minutes to create. And okay. Okay, so my VNet is still processing. Okay, so it's up now. So let me go to resource. Okay. Wait, it's taking a few minutes to come up. Okay, let's see the subnets. See if it will come up. Okay, so these are the two subnets I just created, and you can see they both have 59 available IPs currently. So now I'm going to go ahead and create my version now. Okay, so you can actually create a VM without, creating those subnets, but just to keep things organized and to make sure your VM can communicate with each other, it's usually advisable to create your own subnets versus the one Microsoft would create for you. Okay, so I'm going to choose the resource group that I already created because I'm trying to keep everything organized and put it all in one resource group. And you can actually create a new resource group if you haven't created one. You can create one here at create new. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this a name. So I'm just going to do presentation VM. Presentation VM. Okay. Oh, okay. Why is it not right this one? Just the two. Okay. All right. I'm leaving the region, the availability zone. I'm leaving all that on default. Now for my image, I'm going to go ahead with the Windows Server 2019. I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. My username. Okay. I'm putting in passwords now. Okay. Yes. Okay, I'm going to leave it at RDP. So I'm going to save this. And yeah, okay, so for the OS disk type, I'm going to leave that at default. You can actually change when it comes up. And for the disk size, leave that for disk at minimum SSD. I think that's fine. I don't know why it's taking minutes to come up. Okay, I would leave this one. And okay, so I'll just keep loading. Okay, it's taking a few minutes to come up. Why? Okay, it's up now. So yeah, so just a test and it's not going to be doing a lot of work. So I'm going to next. I'm going to networking, and for the networking, I'm just going to use the VNet. Yeah. Okay. So because I'm placing the VM, the VNet, and everything in the same resource group. So Microsoft already puts in the VM for me, and for my subnets, I'm just going to for the public IP, I'll let Microsoft create it for me. For my subnets, I don't know why it's not. My subnet is not showing, but it's okay. I guess the subnet has not synced. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, the other settings will just be at default. Yeah, fine. And it's very important to put your VMs auto shut down because you really don't want to forget your VM on and then incur charges you're expecting. So you can set you want to down and that will leave that setting at default. I will go next. Monitoring, you can leave all that at default. And yeah, same. That could be at default. So I'm just going to review and this. So let's see. So we're just waiting for the VM to review, and once it's up, I'm going to go ahead and create it. And after I create it, I'm going to try to log into the VM if time permits me. Still waiting for it to finish its validation. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create this. You can see Microsoft's estimated charges and all that. Okay, so I'm going to create this now. So let's see. It's initializing now. Okay, still waiting. Still deploying. And okay, so I have to hold on.
When it's virtual, it's still pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay, I'll probably try to log into another VM just to show you. Let's just wait a couple more seconds. This will create. Here. Okay, so let me just let me check out another VM I created previously and try to log into that. It's new. Okay, I don't know why it's taking forever to come up.
So can you hear me, Dima? Evelyn?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Your network,
Oh,
I can
okay.
see like, okay.
Yeah, so it just came up now. Okay, so let me just go to resource. Okay. Okay, so my VM is up. I'm going to try to log into it now. Okay. So I'll quickly download this RDP. I hope it gives me time. Okay. So I'm going to download this RDP file quickly so I can log into the VM. See if it's done. Okay. Okay, it's done. Okay, so I would connect. Okay, so use the name shortcut. That's right. I'm just going to type it in. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me try it out again. I don't know why that happened. Let me see. Connecting. Okay. I think it will connect this time around. Just a few more minutes. Well, I guess it's going to connect. My network just a little bit slow this evening.
Yeah, I think it's the network.
Yeah.
Also, I was trying to tell you something.
What's just it, anyways?
Can you see your network?
Okay.
Can you see your network icon? I don't know if you're probably using your network cable and your Wi-Fi together.
Yes, they are both connected now.
Now, probably I think that cable is having like a lower, the signal from the cable is low and it's taking priority. So probably if you remove that, I think it will have given you a higher distance. Oh, I think the network was actually, yeah.
Yeah, she plugged out the cable.
Yeah, I think she actually has a Wi-Fi and then she was using a cable also. So, and the priority from the cable is actually low. So it was running on the cable. Yeah, and that's why I joined VM. And do you always notice anytime you create a VM on a virtual network, you get like the first IP, as if you're not using a static IP, the first IP that will be assigned to you will be 4. I don't know if anybody here noticed that anytime you create a VM, your first IP is always 4.
By default.
Yeah, it's always 4. So normally, when we're talking of network, like the traditional network, Okay, I think she's back.
Yeah. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Your network did you sent you away? Oh, I think the network is still trying to pick up. Okay, so what I was saying was, you notice in the traditional net, when we're talking of network, like physical network, we can't use the first IP, which is the network, and then we always use like .1 for the default gateway. It might be something else depending on the subnet, right? If probably, just like she did now, if probably we were using different subnets, and the next subnet, the starting IP is probably going to be 64. If we use 64, right, that's going to be our network address, and then will be 65 will be the default gateway. So we could probably assign the rest IPs, and then we can assign the last IP for the first subnet, which is starting from 0, and 63 is going to be like the broadcast. So we can't, in a traditional network environment, we'll probably be assigning IPs from 2 to 62. But when we are creating VMs in Azure, you would notice your first virtual machine that you're putting on that network will be getting the first IP, which is 4, right? So the idea, because I know most people would probably be asking, like, why do we use 4? And then when we see our available IPs, we are seeing like 59. So why is that happening? So why I'm saying that is the 0 is going for the network address. Then Azure is also reserving the 1 for the default gateway. Then we have 2 and 3, and Azure uses that to map the DNS IP. So that's why we always get the IP always starting from 4. So if we probably, anytime you create a VM, you can always check that. You will see your first IP by default will go to 4 because the other ones, they are being used by Azure. And then you can also assign the last one, which is probably going to be like, for the subnet you created, the last one, which is 63, you can't actually assign that to the VM. But then you can always go into your network and your VMs, and then you can adjust it to any IP you want, and also set up your DNS the way you want it. So I just wanted to throw light on that aspect of VNet.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Okpeyemi.
Well, yeah, it works fine. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, Stephen, do you want to share your screen with us?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Sure.
Let me second. Yeah, share screen. Sorry, bear me a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Yeah. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it's coming up there now. I'm just going to edit on there. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're actually sharing us now. So what you need to do is click on the other screen.
Okay. Sorry, okay, slideshow. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you see?
Yeah,
Can
we
you see
got you there now. Yeah.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
Microsoft
Thank you.
Internet. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So good evening, everyone. Yeah, and thank you for this opportunity. So tonight I was just going to be sharing quickly something that is actually very important, and which is the Microsoft Entra terms of use, and which I believe most organizations make use of it, and most of us we've seen it. Like most users have seen it, but actually they don't. They just ignore it and just accept and then move forward. Yeah. So I'm going to I'm going to be creating a demo on how to actually do that. So I'm going to be talking about what is Microsoft terms of use, what can I do with the terms of use, the prerequisites, and terms of use document. Quickly, what is Microsoft terms? What is Microsoft Entra terms of use, which we usually know before is the Microsoft Azure Active Directory, but it has been changed now. So it's a term of use. The Microsoft Entra terms of use are policy that organization can use to present information to end users and ensure they see relevant disclaimer for legal or compliance requirement. Users are required to accept the terms of use before accessing cloud apps. Before accessing, so these are what users see whenever they want to access the cloud app of the organization. Is like a term, so it's just like an agreement. It's just like when you're installing programs on your computer, you click on next, you get to a place, say agree, then before you move further. So this is actually what is made. So terms of use can be customized and provided in multiple languages. So you can add up to 16 languages. So there's no barrier in, okay, oh, I don't understand English, I'm not this. So you can add Spanish. There are various languages which Microsoft has provided us to actually make use of, and you can actually add up to 16 languages. And I believe in most organizations, I said that maybe you just have maybe somebody speaking Spanish stuff. So I believe you can use up to that 16 languages, but in case if there's any need, you can add up to 16 languages. Say administrator can monitor and audit who has or has not accepted the terms of use. And we already know that if you don't accept the terms of use, then definitely you will definitely not have access to that particular cloud app. What can I do with terms of use? Organization can use terms of use along with conditional access policy to require employee or guest to accept the terms of use policy before getting access to the organization cloud app. So which means that once this thing is being in place, it's done with the conditional access policy. So you can either apply it for your guest users or maybe your employees, or maybe probably, or definitely your, maybe you have contractors. So you want to make sure that they accept this particular terms of use before they get access to your cloud, to get access to your apps. It can be your Microsoft 365, it can be Salesforce app, so any kind of app as long as it's in the cloud. And what are the prerequisites? One, you must have a working tenant with Microsoft Entra ID. Microsoft Entra ID. That ID means identity, P1 or P2 license, and a conditional access policy. So it's either you have the P1 or you have the P2, or if you have the trial license, you can also achieve that particular aim. Then two, create a PDF terms of use agreement document. So which means that the company needs to create this agreement document that will be displayed to the users before they can have access to this particular app. And it must be done with, when you create it in Word, you have to convert it to PDF. It has to be in a PDF format for you to make use of it. Then three, you create conditional access policy. These are the prerequisites. Terms of use. The Microsoft terms of use policy. Use the PDF format to represent content, which I just finished saying. So the PDF file can be any content, such as existing contract document. You can then assign the term of use to specific users or groups. So this is where you can now decide to say, okay, I don't want to apply it to all the users in my organization. So you can create specific users, maybe create a group for them, maybe dynamic group or whatever. I think dynamic group is will be better. So whenever those users join those organizations, whenever the users join your organization, automatically they go to that group, and this particular policy terms of use will be assigned to them automatically, because once they join that particular group. Or you can decide to apply it to all the users in your organization, or it can be maybe your contractors or external users. You can apply these things for them. The users will see the terms of use when they sign into the cloud apps, and they have to accept them to continue. That is, they have no choice. You have to accept these terms of use, just to make them understand that this particular app you are using is for the purpose of the organization and not for personal use. So it depends on the organization policy. So these are everything they will see in that particular thing. Yeah, I think you. Thank you. And now we are going to proceed to the demo. Yep, thank you. So quickly, I'm going to open my, sorry, can you see my screen? Can you see my admin?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
See that? No
Okay,
problem.
so like I said, one of the prerequisites is that you must have a working tenant. So this is my own tenant, which is the normal Microsoft developer account, which is, you can get that account open quickly. It's not, you don't pay, it's free, which is Microsoft are giving us that access to create a lot of things. You can do a whole lot of things with this particular account. So once you do that, then you definitely have access to create these terms of use for a user. So, and then you log in with your admin.microsoft.com, which is what I have here, admin.microsoft.com. And then when you come up here, remember that it is called the Microsoft Entra ID terms of use. So you come up here and then you now click on your identity. So before it used to be Azure Active Directory, but now it's what identity. Now is named as identity, which is known as the Microsoft Entra ID. So you click on that, and then it's going to open in another tab for you. Now, when you do that, now I want to create my terms of use. I assume that I already have my PDF documents created already for the agreement I need to pass across to these users or group of users. So when you now come up here, you now proceed down to identity and governance. Identity and governance. So when you click on identity and governance, you now click on entitlement management. Now you can find out terms of use in two places. You see that you come up here, you go to identity governance and click on entitlement management, and then you click on terms of use, or you come to your protection and then you click on conditional access. Conditional access. When you click on that, you should be able to see your terms of use. So we have two places you can actually find it. So it depends on you. So, but I love to go to the identity governance. So it's still the same thing anyway, but just it depends on you. So click on here, and then you now click on terms of use. Terms of use. So you can see I don't have anyone in place here. So then you click on this new terms, click on it, and then here, once you do that, you come up here and give it a name. Give it a name. And naming convention is always very good as an administrator, because when you leave that organization, that is what the next person that comes over will be able to work with easily. So naming convention to resources or anything you are creating is always very, very good. Name it in such a way that people can sit and understand that this is particular things for a particular thing. So it's very, very important. Here, I'm going to name mine as, let's say, all contractors terms of use. So all contractor terms of use. So which means that this I want to do for my contractor. It can be all the users. So like I said, it depends. Then terms of use document. You can see whenever you have asterisk, it means that you cannot neglect it. It is compulsory. You have to fill something in there. You can see I said upload required PDF. Like I said earlier on, when you create this document in your Word, then you convert it to PDF, and then you click on your browse, then you go and then browse for that particular document. I think I have one So I think it should be this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So click on open. So you can see it said upload completed for terms of use agreement. So I've uploaded mine. Then this is where you can now select your default language, select your language. Like I said, you can add up to 16 languages. So here, if I come up here and click on English, which is normal, but if your contractors are Spanish, if that is what they speak, so it's always good to make sure you put in so that you give them that free access to. So here you click on your language. I will use on the English United Kingdom. If you want to add more language, just click on this add button here and then you add up. So here you can add up to 16 languages. Then here click on display name. So this is the name that will be displayed. Let's say I can say all contractors. And when you are done, here you have require user to expand the terms of use. Is that you put it on or you put it off? Now, what does it mean? Say require user to expand terms of use. Now you could know that when you are reading agreement at times, it's collapsed. So the next thing you just see accept. So at times some users don't want to go through reading. Definitely, we know that not all users will definitely read. You understand? But we want them to expand it and see that this thing and see other documents that are there. So then you need to click on this and make it on, so that if you leave it off, if they see that terms of agreement, the next thing they will see is accept, and I think so they will just click on accept and you take them to the next stage. But if this is turned on, if they click on that accept and they didn't scroll down, they will not be able to move forward until they scroll down, then before they can now click on the accept. This is actually very, very important, so that they will definitely. I know most people read it, but some people don't. We have, I think I can say 95% of people don't read the ICU, don't even read terms of agreements. Yeah. So just click on that. Here you have require user to consent on every device. So this one means that when users log in on every device, do you want them to also accept this particular consent before they move further again? That is when they log on to their company accounts on another machine, they want to access the organization app. Do you want them to also accept this particular terms? So here you on it if you want, and if you don't want, click on off depending on the organization policy. Here you have expire consent. Do you want it to expire? If you want it, you click on it on here, and then you will now set whatever you need to set, put in the dates you want to set. But for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to put it off for now. It said duration before reacceptance required days. So this one means that duration before this, like, what are the duration? Is it up to maybe like 90 days? Maybe like after 90 days when they log in again, they have to just like it's just like you reminding them. You don't just reminding them that okay, this is an agreement. So if you are doing anything wrong, so the policy, whenever you want to log in again, the policy just trigger for you, and you need to accept it before you move on. So you can either put the days you want there, or you can decide to ignore that. So for the purpose of this demo, I'll just ignore that. Then here you come up here, you say enforce with conditional access policy. Click on this one. You have the custom policy, and here I'll now click on create conditional access policy later, because I'm still going to go and create the conditional access policy. So I'll click on this, create that later, so that I can move further. Then you scroll down, and when you are scrolling down, okay, yeah, you scroll down, then you now click on create. Yeah, click on create. So once that is populated, click on your create, and definitely within the next split of seconds, your your terms of use is being created. Can you see this is it? All contractual terms of use. Now I have created it. I need to now deploy it for this group of users. I want to make sure like I said, either everybody, either all users in the organization. Normally, most organizations apply to all users on the organization, but it depends on the organization policy. So how do I deploy this to all my users? Then I will now say, come back to this place, go to protection, and then click on my conditional access. Click on conditional access. Now, when you click on conditional access here, from the word conditional access, which means that there is a condition for you to access a particular resources. This conditional access can do a whole lot of things there. So which is that it was a condition for you to accept something. That's what I mean by conditional access. So here you click on create new policy. Now I'm going to create the policy. Click on create new policy, and then here you come up here and give it a name. Just like I said, naming convention is very, very important when you are in production environment. Naming convention is very, very important. So here you give it a name. I can decide to say LON 001 hyphen all contractors. So then here you come up here where you have the users. Click on this one here. Click on your users. Here you have include, exclude. This is where you will now choose if you want to apply to all the users. You click on that, and then when you're applying to all the users, you want to be very careful so that you don't lock yourself out. This is always a warning. This man is very, very handy. Always warning you. So now, but I'm applying it to just my contractors. So click on this one here. Select users and groups. Select users and groups. Then I will now click on users and groups here, and then here I'll come up here and search for my group. That is okay. Yeah, this is the group I created. I want to make use of infrastructure team. So click on that, and then I will now click on select. So I've just selected. So if I have 10 users in this group, it will be applied to just those numbers of users and not all the users in my organization. So when you are done with that, here you now have target resources. Remember that we are applying to what? To resources in our organization, which is what? Our cloud, our apps in the organization. So click on this one here. When you click on it, here you now come up here, all cloud app, selected apps. When you click on selected apps, then you have to come up here and say filter. Oh, sorry. Click on here, select. Then you can now search for sorry. Yeah, I think here you can now search for the app. So this is my app. So if I want to apply to just my office app, I'll click on it. So there are different, so it depends on the apps that you have here. You will now select one, but I want to apply it on everything. So I'll click on all cloud apps. So I will select all cloud apps because of our time. So click on this, and when you are done with that, then the next thing, you now proceed to grants. You come to this grant here. When you click on this, your grant here, you now have grant access, and then you will now see all contractor terms of use. Can you see now? This is my terms of use that was created for me, that I created earlier on. So this is it. So you click on this, and then when you click on that, you now click on select. Now, when you click on select, always be careful not to rush and click on create. You have to enable this policy. Click on this enable, because some people, when they are done, they just rush and they click on create, and at the end of the day, they now see that it's not being effective. What is happening? Then when you now start troubleshooting, then you now remember that, oh, I did not even on this policy. So always careful. Always remember to on it, put it on. And when you don't want it again, you can simply just go there, off it, or you delete it completely. So you don't click on your create. Now that is one thing I love with Microsoft. It's just split of seconds. These things are being created for you. Now we've created our terms of use. Now we need to go and test. Now let me go back to my admin and then come to my groups. Then come to sorry, yeah, come to groups. Think I choose infrastructure. Yes, infrastructure team. Let me see my members so I can see who I need to log on. Okay, so these are the two members that it will be affected. So I would log into this particular user. Let me just copy. Okay, so I want to log into that particular user. Now open your browser. You can open your incognito browser, incognito mode browser. Click on that. And then if I go to office.com, press your enter, and then I'll click on sign in. Under sign in here, you now enter the email address of that user. So spare me a second. Let me get the password of that user. So okay, yeah, I think I've seen the email. So copy and you click on sign in, and here you put in the email address of that user. Next, and then you put the password. When you do that, you definitely see what will happen. Oh, sorry, I'm using the wrong password. Sorry, let me get. Okay, so now put the password. Click on sign in. Oh, what's happening? Refresh. Uh, sorry, let me. Sorry, let me. I think let me just use another. I need to use. Let me make use of this user. And one thing you need to do that when you're applying this policy, make sure that this user they have a license. Make sure there's license assigned to this. I think that user should have a license. So let me go and check for that user. Yeah, I think that yeah, the user has a license. So let me just don't think. Okay, let me reset the password and see. That might be the case. Reset password. Customize this. Office.com. Sign in again. Let me sign again with that user and hope it's not. Yes, I think it's yeah. X. And then the password. Set that password. Sign in next. Okay. So now, can you see that now? So when this user logs into the Microsoft.com to access our app, this is what the user will be seeing. You can see it, YemTech terms of use. In order to access YemTech resources, you must read the terms of use. So can you see what I was saying? We have accept, we have decline. So some user will just click on, oh, because I was told to accept, and you just click on accept. So if you do that, it won't allow you to go further, not until when you expand it and then you go through it. You might not probably sit down and read it. You just go through, go down, scroll down, and then you now click on accept. Then it will now give you access to the resources. So here you can now access the app of the organization. You can now do whatever you want to do with the particular application. So thank you, everyone. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Yep.
Yeah, great one. Great presentation, okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. That's my boss.
Who was that? Yep.
Jerry Sullivan. Yeah.
Okay.
So any question? Any question?
Yeah.
So this was your boss, is it? This guy? No?
Pierre, I think I invited to
Can you hear me?
the show. Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
So-
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because my brother is he's freezing.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
You actually freeze.
Yeah. I don't know. Streaming is always freezing my browser. I don't know why. Need to go.
Yeah, then I'm just learning the StreamYard thing there, how to use the banner. So yeah. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, yeah. So look, we're up on the hour, and welcome, Teresa. Just caught the end of us.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was still thinking it was at 3:00 Eastern time.
Yeah, I actually missed your last show. I was going to join it, but because of the hour, it was finished when I went to join. I was like, oh, the time difference.
I think the
So we're
time zone
even.
also changed
we're
recently.
even. Yeah, so we're even.
Yeah. I actually missed I missed an event because of the time zone. You know, the UK went back 1 hour and the US
we
was
did
still yeah. So I think the US did like a week after the UK.
Yeah.
So everything was looking fine for me. And then I was like, oh, the event is over.
I was just
yeah.
I was at a conference in Nigeria, and their time didn't go back, and so I was I was presenting at 3:25 a.m. my time yesterday. So I just came alive today.
Wow.
I don't think Nigerian time zone changes. It has always
No,
been the same, right? Yeah, it doesn't.
So that was a learning, that to make sure that they put me on the agenda after 12 o'clock their time. So at least that's 5:30, 6 o'clock our time. But yeah, I didn't realize I was going to be presenting at 3:25 a.m.
Yeah.
But that's what having a great diverse community is all about. Being able to present all over the world. Let me just say that is awesome. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so guys, I'll just end the live, record the show, and so thank you everybody for joining the Azure and AI show, and it was brilliant. We had lots of people joining us tonight, some great comments as well, and we went live on 3 LinkedIn live profiles and 3 YouTube profiles, which is we've never done before.
That's awesome.
We're out on Twitter as well on a few different ones. So yeah, great exposure this week. So thank you everybody, and we'll be back here next Saturday at the same time. So tune in. Bye.
Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Yeah.
Happy Diwali, happy Veterans Day.
Yes, Bill. Thank you.